Hi you guys, Latoya here. Welcome to my crafty space. I am thrilled to bring about the next 2 cards in my little Easter card series. I love creating cards for Easter. I know there are 2 aspects to it. There's the religious aspect, and then there's the chocolate and bunny rabbit aspect. A lot of people like to merge the 2 together. As far as card making, I tend to just go towards the chocolate and playing with bunnies. I do have a couple stamps where I could make religious cards if I need to, but the ones that I'm sharing are going to be in the other section part of Easter. Okay, so if you don't know, I first start off with a little bit of inspiration. I like looking at different colors and charts that I pull out. I also like looking at my color swatches, and I also take out some card sketches if I need the inspiration to get my mojo going. And I love just flipping through my Easter stash to just see what I have. I did purchase some newbies, as you saw in my last video, but I like seeing what I do have also to make things, because it's important to use what's in our stash, not only look forward to new stuff, because once it's in your stash, it's no longer new. And if you're constantly searching for something and then you get that something and then you're still searching, it's like a crazy cycle. We gotta break that. Okay, so what I made is, let me get it. I just love tossing out this really pretty this really pretty paper. Okay, so this card, this is so, you guys, this card, oh my gosh, it was so much fun. So this was actually like one of my starter cards, what got me back into stamping after a little bit of a break. Because I was trying to figure out, what am I going to do? Like, what do I love? Let me get the other pieces here. All right, you guys. So these are the items that I used to create this. Now, this is not an all Stampin' Up! Card. Just so you know, I am using some contraband. So if you only follow me for Stampin' Up!, go ahead and bow out so I do not upset you. Now, for this card, I did end up using some Copic markers. My Copics are just alcohol markers. They are the same as the Stampin' Blends, except these are refillable. The shelf life, I've had these for over 10 years and I've only had to replace a nib or 2. These are just so great. Anyhow, they're just like the Stampin' Blends, except the Stampin' Blends are not refillable. These are, I can use the same container over and over. The nibs are exchangeable. And there's another point with this, but I can't remember. But you have like a whole wide range of different colors to blend with, but you can also blend with Stampin' Blends. So there's that. Okay, so I used just green, some browns for this card. So I just had myself in a like fit of delight when I saw this little bunny in this set here, this Peaceful Deer set, when I was going through my stash to see where I had bunnies and rabbits and such. And I don't know why I see bunnies and rabbits like they're 2 different things. Anybody else do that? Anyhow, that's what I was looking for, and this set is now considered an oldie. I don't think it's in the new catalog, but I was like, you know what, I'm using it. I have a stash for a reason. I purchased this for a reason. I'm going to play with it. And I was really happy to try out my Copic skills and color this bunny this really nice chocolate color. And isn't this little guy just so adorable? Just so cute. Now, this set did come with trees, but I didn't really like the trees for him. I wanted him to have trees that went with the detail he has on himself, what the artist did. So I continued to go through my sets, and I ended up coming across the Christmas Barn set. And I know, right, it was in my Christmas section, but the tree here is awesome. And I was like, I know this says this is a Christmas stamp set, but I'm taking this tree from winter and bringing it into spring. So I ended up stamping out this tree 3 times. So I ended up doing a little bit of masking. I also masked in my last card with the eggs. So I'll do a demo for you guys if you don't know how to mask, just to show you, if you would like. So let me know. All right, so see how adorable this bunny is with this little grove of, is a grove a thing? A grove of trees? I don't know if that's a thing. I should ask Siri. I don't know. So I did a bit of masking here to get these 3 trees, and then I Copic colored underneath just to give them something to be housed on top of. And I really love just the green grass, the bunny, the trees, and I ended up taking this Hello Spring Sentiment from the Photo Play. This is the Bunnies in Bloom set, and this is a newbie. This is one of the sets I was like, oh my gosh, why did you guys come out with this? Now I have to get it. It is so cute. I love the images, I love the sentiments, so I wanted to use that on my card. I did the spring in a different color since the font was different from the Hello, and it just came out to be so perfect. I just so happened to have that much space there from when I initially did my trees and added my bunny onto this card. Then I knew I needed to have this all housed on something like a background, and I create my own background paper. I do not purchase any because it gives me more money for stamps. And I ended up taking out my cottage wreath set. I really love this twig wreath. It is the cutest thing. I know you're supposed to like layer on top of it and play all of that. I like things sometimes just bare bones. Here, let's take these twines and these sticks, put them together. Look how beautiful. It's just so cute. And yeah, I bought this when it first came out, so it's nice that it's carrying over. So I ended up stamping it all out on white cardstock, and I love the look. It's really cool. Then when I put this piece that I made on top, I was just like, oh my gosh, this looks fudging amazing. Now I did do a matte layer for my scallop piece here, but honestly, when I put that on and then place it here, for some reason, I find the green to be a bit too distracting. I kind of don't like it. I love how this looks with just my main panel image right atop my background, and normally that doesn't happen. I'm really big into layers and matte layers. So yeah, I think we're just going to go without that. And then I gave, as you can see, I have a matte layer for my background piece. And as you can see, I save on cardstock by cutting out other matte layers from another layer that's being used, since it's not going to be seen. All right, that is pretty much all. So now I'm just going to go ahead and put this together and my card will be done. All right, you guys, I am done. Here is my card. How sweet is this? Well, not simple. It wasn't simple to come up with, but once executed, is being able to repeat this, I can with ease. So I'm back, you guys. I took a little break. I'm now going to share my, well, I was going to say second, but this is my second in this video, Easter card, but this is actually card number 4. And again, I'm so stoked with my creations. It's ridiculous. Alrighty, so here we go. Can you guys guess what it is? If you're guessing there's chocolate on this card, you're correct. And I am just so happy. You guys, look at this. Look at this panel. And there's not 1, not 2, but there are 3 bunnies. And there are some goodies here. Jelly beans. I know, right? My husband loves jelly beans. I do not. Literally, they're nothing but like sugar balls. Like, they're useless. But he loves them, and I'm so uber excited that I decided to incorporate these in my card. Let me get the products. Right, so these are the products that make up this awesome card. I am so excited. Now, I had my theme already picked out, which is Easter. So I knew I wanted to play with Easter stamps, and I had my stash off to the side. But I wanted to do something different with the background, so that was kind of my second jumping off point. And for the background, I was like, you know what? I haven't done any ink blending in a long time, so I took out my Tim Holtz mat. And that's this mat here. I used to have it out on my desk. I actually had the larger version of this, and that was my whole desk. But as you can see, I changed my desk aesthetic to just be more bright and uplifting. But this one, this is the second size down. It's smaller. Obviously it can fit right on my desk here. So when I need to ink blend, all I do is grab this from like the side of my table. It's literally sitting right there. And I just move my MISTI and I just ink blend right here on this panel. But you can ink blend everywhere on this. This is a great glass mat. So I took out one of my Tailored Expression blending brushes. These are the brushes that I use for my dye ink. I have one for my Distress Oxides, and if you don't know, you should not use the same brush to blend the two different inks because they are made with you know, different things, and you just don't want any interactions occurring. So I took my brush and I just ink blended these three Stampin' Up! Colors, Early Espresso, Soft Sweet, and Crumb Cake, and I got this here. And it reminds me of ice cream. So that's a little hint for another card. Anyhow, but it reminds me of ice cream, but it also reminds me of chocolate. And I just love how this came out. It's not like 1000% perfect, but for me, I'm quite happy with it. So I did that, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna probably house that on a piece of Early Espresso just to pick up this deep, yummy chocolate brown there. And then I was thinking, okay, what Easter stamps do I want to play with? And of course, like, I'm in love with this bunny here. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go with my mojo. And I took this bunny treat die set. You saw it in a previous video. And this is by Echo Park. And I just gave this die a run through my Gemini Junior 3 times. And I got this cute little guy. You guys, how cute is this, right? Fudging adorable. And I'm using one of my favorite layouts. That's one of my cats. I'm surprised they're not in any of my other videos. Put down the bunnies. I was like, you know what kind of sentiment would I use for this? And I was thinking of housing a sentiment somewhere over here. So as you can see, I did stamp one out in Flirty Flamingo, which is the same color cardstock that I used for these neckties or scarves for these adorable bunnies. And it says, delivering chocolate and jelly beans. And how adorable is that, you guys? Is it not like the cutest thing ever? It's so cute. Okay, so this sentiment is from the Spellbinders Sunday Drive All Occasion Sentiments. Now, I believe that there's a truck stamp or die that goes with this, and that these sentiments like go on the side of the truck or something, but I was not interested in that truck. I saw these sentiments and I was just like, oh, those are really cool. I can use those for a variety of different things, hence the all occasion. But I also really love the font. I love the size of the sentiments. I like how there's like, you know, little details like the dots here and how things are like layered and stacked upon one another, how you have this line here and the different fonts. That's something I look for when I go to buy sentiments. So this fit the bill for me, and I was like, let me add to cart. And I think this was like the only thing I actually purchased, because again, I'm being very specific and particular and staying on budget and plan and making sure I'm not just consuming, because I just don't, one, I don't have space, 2, I don't have money, 3, I'm already time poor. I don't have a lot of time to commit to this hobby like I want right now. But even if I did have more time, just owning more product doesn't make you more creative. Okay, I'm done talking with them. I'm done teaching. So anyhow, I was like, oh my gosh, that sentiment came out absolutely beautiful after stamping it out a couple times. And I gave this little guy a little matte layer just to match the matting that I have here with my ink blended piece of white cardstock. So then I was like, okay, I need something else. And oh yeah, my sentiment basically told me what to do. It says chocolate and jelly beans. I have my chocolate bunnies. Why don't I find some jelly beans? And my husband, like I already mentioned, he loves jelly beans. So this will probably be his Easter card. So I went and I found in my chocolate candy stash this stamp set here called Pick and Mix by Abrielle. And I think I've had this for like a number of years. I think this was 2016. Anyhow, is this not the cutest? And again, I like stamp sets that are like all occasion. As you can see here, it says trick or treat. The treat's there. I'm a sucker for you. So Valentine's Day, Halloween. I mean, just if you want to make like a birthday card or tell someone they're sweet, this is just the cutest set ever. And now that I'm better at Copic coloring, I can definitely like color this bag here. I'm more confident in my skills. So with this set, there were two options for jelly beans. I could either stamp out this solid stamp here and have the jelly bean just, you know, stamped out and then cut it. I don't know if there was a die cut with this set. I did not purchase it, even if it did exist, because I have a Brother Scan & Cut and I like just using that, or in this case, I just fussy cut. Sometimes I just fussy cut if it's only going to take me a second. But yeah, another thing I don't do is buy dies for every single stamp set. It needs to be something that's really intricate or detailed. If my Scan & Cut can do the job, I'm just going to use that because I invested in that tool so I can save money over time, again, to buy more stamps. Stamp was an option, and then the line stamp was an option, just like the outline. So I ended up doing the outline just to see what it looks like. And then I went ahead and I fussy cut and I just flipped it over. And I was like, you know what? I like that better than what I assumed I was going to get when I stamped the image, especially since I have a lot of just die cut pieces on this card. I didn't really want anything stamped. Does that make sense? Because when you stamp an image, you get like a different look from a die cut. So I, again, went ahead and just did some fussy cutting around the stamped image and then flipped it over, and I took a white gel pen and I just gave it a little line just to make it look like a shiny jelly bean. And so I'm just going to place these jelly beans down and just make a really adorable little chocolate and jelly bean card. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and assemble this. All right, you guys, so my card is done. Everything is adhered. This is just so, is this not the cutest thing ever? Oh my goodness, I'm tickled. Again, I kind of want to add like a little something to this card just to give it a little bit of, I think like a spling or sparkle, but because this is an ink blended background and this is dye ink, so because this is a dye ink, anything that I put down that is like a Nuvo drop or a liquid pearl will actually react. So I would have to make like a drop off to the side, let it dry, and then affix it. As you guys know, or if you don't know, sequins and such, I stopped buying those. So I only have the little bit that's left in my stash, and then that's it. Buying the Nuvo drops and liquid pearls work best for me as far as like stretching my pennies. So maybe I'll add that on later, but as of right now, this is my card and I am just tickled by it. And another tip is, you probably noticed that I used tape and some glue dots to adhere my die cut pieces, and that's because, again, dye ink will react to glue. So you want to be careful when you're trying to use glue, i.e. don't, when you put things down. Alrighty, you guys are inspired by my two cards today, and I have two more to share with you. Video coming soon. Hope you guys are inspired, and I hope you do something crafty that makes you happy. Okay, bye.